When you ask NASCAR fans one of the best things about NASCAR they can name, one of the first ones that always comes up are great finishes. And NASCAR is chock full of them, but the thing is, some are just so much better and closer than others. So today, that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at the top 10 closest NASCAR finishes. Now, I want to get some prerequisites out of the way first for this video, and there's 3 of them. 1, this is only the top 3 divisions of NASCAR. I know that ARCA now is part of NASCAR, but we're not going to add anything from there. It's just going to be trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. Also, this will only be from electronic scoring only, which means that there might have been finishes before electronic scoring that were closer, but we're never going to know for sure. And then these will be official finishes only. So if a finish was really close, like the 2021 Daytona 500, but it ended under caution, we will not count that. So with all that being said, let's get to it. At number 10, we have the 2008 Cool City Customs 200 with a margin of victory of 5/1000ths of a second. This race was at Michigan and it was in the Truck Series, and it really was made by a restart over the final 3 laps of the race. Most of the day was dominated by 2 guys, Todd Bodine and Eric Darnell, with Darnell being the leader late in the race. But Johnny Benson was in a tight title fight that year, and he was charging up towards the front. He needed these points for a win to be able to get up there in the fight. But ultimately, Darnell would just barely edge him out.
Here he comes looking to the bottom of the racetrack.
Johnny goes right down to the bottom. What a great job by Eric Darnell. Here comes Todd Warshaw.
Johnny Benson looking to the inside. It's door to door as they come to the start-finish line. Johnny Benson trying to get it. He's going to go across the start-finish line. They were almost identical across the start-finish line.
Here comes Darnell with the momentum on the high side, getting that side draft to the line.
Closing in on the start-finish line.
Eric Darnell.
A dead heat.
I think it's Eric Darnell.
Another one from the Truck Series is at number 9, the 2015 North Carolina Education Lottery 200, again with a distance of 5/1000ths of a second. At the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Eric Jones really owned the lead for most of the night. He absolutely dominated this race. And he took the lead from Casey Kane with only a few laps to go, looking like he was going to have the win in the bag. But of course, a yellow came out, bringing out a green-white checker. This gave Kane the opportunity to get past Jones.
This is intense. Those guys want it so bad. Who's going to have the advantage? Kane eking out in front as they come off of turn 4. Jones trying to power to the outside. Here they come back to the start-finish line. It's going to be a photo finish, sliding sideways at the line. Casey Kane wins it at Charlotte.
At number 8, we have the second Gatorade Duel from 2001 with a margin of victory of 4/1000ths of a second. This was with the new plate package that was a hit in 2001. And most of the races that weekend, when it came to the Cup Series, had great racing, whether it was the Clash, the Duels, or the 500. And this was no different. Skinner led over Ward Burton and Dale Jr., while the pack was going nuts behind him. But ultimately, it ended up being between Skinner and Earnhardt.
2 by 2, Earnhardt on the bottom. Skinner up top to squeeze him down. Photo finish.
I will not try to call that. Here they come. Want to be on the outside, right?
At number 7, we have the 2010 Mountain Dew 250 at the Talladega Superspeedway with a margin of victory of 2/1000ths of a second. This is another one that was dominated by someone, but won by someone different. Hornaday dominating this race, but unfortunately, towards the end of the race, he flipped and was out of the running. Coming to the finish, it was Eric Almirola leading over Kyle Busch. Well, let's be real. Kyle Busch never goes for second, so this race was destined to be a good finish.
Are they going to make the move? Here comes Sauter looking to the inside. Almirola in front of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is going to move to the inside. It's a drag race. They're 3 wide at the stripe. It looked as though Kyle Busch may have outlasted Almirola. Sauter goes up to the top and right at the stripe. It's amazing. Johnny Sauter is right at the door of the 51 and he finishes 3rd.
At number 6, we have the 1999 Touchstone Energy 300 at Talladega again with a margin of victory of 2/1000ths of a second. This was one where Joe Nemechek led over Jeff Purvis running to the finish. He had Purvis, Kenseth, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. all mounting charges behind him, but he held them off. Instead, though, it was the Iceman, Terry Labonte, who eventually made the real run at Nemechek towards the end.
And it's the start-finish line. They come to the tri-oval 2 by 2.
I don't have a clue.
Well, NASCAR scoring.
Yeah, I don't know that angle, though.
We're a little bit behind the angle, but man.
The 44 is ahead right
The 44 is ahead at the stripe, yeah.
At number 5, we're going to stick around the third straight race at Talladega, the 2011 Aaron's 499, again with a margin of victory of 2/1000ths of a second. This was in the prime age of tandem drafting, and the big point of the day to look at was the marvelous teamwork of Hendrick Motorsports. The strategies they had were varying all around. Some was just leading the race like Gordon and Martin did a lot of, while laying back was the one that Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. did. At the end, those 4 cars were part of an 8-car battle for the win that ended with a 4x4 finish, and an amazingly close one at that.
All bets are off. They get to the middle of the tri-oval.
Watch out, down low.
Way
Good
down
run.
comes Johnson.
Good run.
He's got room. They're 3 wide. 3 by 3 to the line.
Johnson.
Maybe Jimmy Johnson.
I believe he got him by an inch.
2/1000ths of a second he beat Boyd.
Okay, a 16th of an inch. That is just a beautiful thing right there. 2, 4, 6, 8 cars.
So close, we can hardly capture it with our stop motion camera. There's a look at it, and there is the margin.
At number 4, we have the closest Cup finish of all time, the 2003 Carolina Dodge Dealers 400 at the Darlington Raceway, with a margin of victory of 2/1000ths of a second. Now, this was one of short runs versus long runs, and it would come down to both of those with Craven and Busch. Ricky Craven having a better long run car, Kurt Busch having a better short run car.
It's a good thing that Pontiac's got the kick out on the nose.
Yeah, that was the difference.
That's what he wouldn't have won.
Look at how close this finish is. Right there. Wow.
At number 3, we have the 1996 Sears Auto Center 250 at the Milwaukee Mile, again with 2/1000ths of a second being the margin of victory. Now, this one saw multiple leaders shuffling in and out of the lead throughout the day, but late in the race, it was Dick Trickle who held control of the event. But Mike McLaughlin behind him was charging to the front, as Buckshot Jones was charging on Trickle. So second was closing on first, third was closing on second. Trickle would be caught up in lap traffic with about 4 to go and give Buckshot his chance before Trickle spun down to the inside wall on the front stretch, but NASCAR didn't throw the caution. Instead, McLaughlin was able to close in and send it coming out of 4, but Buckshot barely scooted ahead.
Now, does McLaughlin have anything here with the final half mile looming ahead? McLaughlin trying to chase down Buckshot Jones, who is in only his 18th race on the NASCAR Busch Series. This is for the win in Milwaukee.
Oh, look at this.
Here comes McLaughlin to the straight. I believe Buckshot got him by 1.5 feet.
If he did, only a foot and a half.
At runner-up, we have the 1995 Total Petroleum 200 at the Colorado National Speedway, with a margin of victory of 1/1000th of a second. This was the Truck Series' first season, and to this day is the Truck Series' closest finish. In front of a sold-out crowd, Ron Hornaday dominated, leading all of the first 170 laps before Butch Miller took over with 30 to go. With 5 to go, there was a restart. Mike Skinner would be the one charging up to try and catch Miller.
Goes inside it. Here comes
Skinner comes
to the inside.
Here's Skinner down on the inside, charging for the finish. He puts the fender right in the door of Butch Miller. Here they come out of 4, side by side, to the line. I think you can give it to Miller.
I think it's Miller. Boy, as we see Butch Miller getting, here it is, as they come across the line.
Skinner had him there.
He had him, but look at the momentum that Miller has as they come to the start-finish line. Boy, that is close. What, 6 inches? 8?
Oh, I'd say that is the 11th race, and all 11 have been decided by less than 10 seconds.
But number 1 would be the 2018 PowerShares QQQ 300 at the Daytona International Speedway, with a margin of victory of 4/10,000ths of a second. This was, for the most part, a pretty normal Daytona Xfinity race to start out the year. There were some crashes, a few cautions, great racing, but for the most part, it fit in with any other race. Until the finish, per se. It had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 green-white checker finishes. In that 5th green-white checker, Tyler Reddick and Elliott Sadler worked together to get their JRM machines out front and settle it amongst themselves. Elliott made the move on the backstretch with help from Ryan Reed, while Ryan Truex would push Reddick. In the end, Reddick would get the win by mere inches.
Trying to get his 2nd career win of the season opener at Daytona. But to the inside, it's Elliott Sadler. A photo finish. Have gone to Junior Motorsports. And here we are, right at the line. By that much.
So there you go. Heading into the 2022 NASCAR season, those are the 10 closest finishes in NASCAR history. But with all that being said, now I want to pass this all on to you. What was your favorite close finish in NASCAR history? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content as the year goes on. And speaking of great content, be sure to watch the NASCAR Weekly Podcast this Wednesday on my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a blast. And to my channel members, thank you for all of your support. So until next time, have a good one.